on my Area 51 line. You're on the air. Hello.
Welcome to the Blondes and Boos Paranormal Podcast, where what you've known as reality will be shattered by the truth. Krista and Brandi will lift the veil from your eyes, revealing what has either been hidden or denied you for eons.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hey.
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I am
Happy
so glad
Thursday.
that today's workday is over. That's all I got to say about that. It was
You ain't
horrible.
just kidding on that one.
It was horrible. I can't even say anything better about it.
I can, because today is my Friday.
Today's
Ooh.
Friday. Well, guess what? We have Barb here with us today. Everybody knows
Hi,
Barb.
everybody.
Hey, Barb.
I'm trying to join the chat and it won't let me join the chat. Whatever. So hi everybody. I'm sorry. I'm not. Yeah.
Maybe you
Whatever.
can't join the chat. Why can't you join the chat?
I don't know. Well, I was just telling them that my computer is Microsoft, I guess, right? Run its system, and then
Okay, now wait a second. Time out. I got to stop right there. My
Okay.
computer is Microsoft.
Like,
Okay,
that's
now
the
I got to get.
system?
I've got to
I
get that
know.
mindset first. Okay.
Yes. Then StreamYard, I guess, is Google. I'm not sure, but it does.
StreamYard is its own thing.
And
Yeah.
it's like, nope. Oh, you're no. Mm-mm.
Okay, so-
I do have to say that StreamYard is more compatible with Google. You're right.
Yeah. Yes. So, so I had to. I recently found a workaround. Hey, Crystal, I just found a workaround to present my stuff. So hopefully it'll work tonight because I couldn't even do that when I had my own
Is this
show.
the stuff that's up there shared right now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just
And
shared
we don't
video
have to-
files. Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing,
Right. And I want to thank, I'm sorry, Rob. I just want to thank Rob and Randy for coming on tonight. Krista is on vacation still.
Oh, nice.
I know. I mean, who takes 10-day vacations?
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
what
know.
the heck's a vacation?
Although she did come home to do my show on Tuesday night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of crap is that?
I don't know.
I know. What is that? She doesn't even come do her own show. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It was probably
Yeah,
because it was raining or something.
That's
They
it.
really-
We're going to trade her back to the hotel on that Thursday night when y'all are doing y'all thing and bring
No.
Brandi out there and we'll put her back at the hotel to be the liaison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Hey, Randy, I did have a week, and I want to say hello to everybody in chat as well because when I go on like the Blondes and Boos, like sit in, co-host, or
Mhm.
just come on, I
Yeah.
can never chat as myself. It's the Blondes
No.
and Boos. Like, look, I'm going to say hello to everybody, but it's going to come up as the Blondes and Boos.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why I can't do it except only on my show.
Because you're the one running the show and you're the main
Oh, is that
platform.
why?
Like,
Oh.
you know, when you go into your media assets and you click that little thing up top where it says Blondes and Blues and you can go to, you know, whatever channel you want to go to.
Okay.
That's the channel that you'll come across as. Now, the only way you can get around that really is to go into like me. I did have two monitors, but as we've seen the last couple of weeks, I started glitching real bad because my computer, the onboard video card, doesn't like two high-speed monitors hooked up.
Oh.
It starts going crazy. So I'm back to one monitor, but I've got a split screen. So I've got StreamYard over here on this side, and I've got YouTube over on this side. So I can go over here to YouTube and actually comment like I'm doing right now. Say, hey, you guys. There you go.
Well,
You know, I mean,
so the short version of all of Randy just said is he's not playing tennis anymore when he's on the show. He's not, swinging his head back and forth.
Yeah.
He
Not
can
yet.
look at one screen and tell you
Not
everything you
yet.
need to know.
but it's coming back. The problem with this is though, when we do Truth or Tinfoil, when I do the presentations and stuff, I have problems. Then you got 3 or 4 windows open at one time and trying to make sure you're going between them and stuff. So,
Well, I mean, that's why you get paid the
what? Please say I get paid. Please say I get
pennies
paid.
per hour. Pennies per hour. I owe you $1 come September.
Well, you get a what we're doing is we're putting it in a separate bank account when we all finally start getting paid, and we have the Randy account. Just to let you know, on a rainy day.
We'll finally start getting paid. We're gonna get paid.
That's nice.
Later.
I gotta get on that account.
Yeah. Well, don't get excited.
Oh, Barb,
Barb,
it's up to 14 cents.
Yeah.
In, a year now.
That's a bad thing is he ain't too far off.
No, believe me. Yeah, YouTube does not pay unless you've got like.
I'm not even talking about the YouTube side. I'm talking about the podcast side.
That's your whole 6 cents every month. Every month.
Yeah.
I have taken every bit that we've gotten and tried to put it into actual ads to get it out further. And it's like, okay, do I do it this month or do I actually get, pay the actual, Spreaker account this month? Which one do I do,
Yeah.
It's like you make money to pay it. It's like it's a never ending thing. Yeah. You got to make money to pay your accounts just so you can stay on the air. I get it.
Yeah, right.
It's a labor of love, everyone. It's a labor of love.
It is a labor. Great way to.
No, I think I just got suckered into is what happened.
Yeah.
Well, you did. You did, Randy. And I'm going to say this, Barb. This is how I hooked him. I said, "Hey, Randy, you want to do a podcast about what?" I said, "Oh, evidence and stuff." I knew I'd hook him as soon as I said evidence.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm there.
And how long we've been doing Truth or Tinfoil now?
We're up to almost 70 episodes, and we've taken a couple of weeks off here and a couple of weeks off there, and probably about a year and a half now.
Yeah,
we're going on about 18 months. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, we've been.
I'm not happy about it because I still got the same amount of people I had when we started.
So, Rob, just tell Randy to pipe down. Just tell him to pipe down.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, Rob, what would you like to say?
Actually, I already forgot, to be honest. I was just listening to Randy so intently. I was thinking about the bank account and how we even got Randy finagled, but now you put it out, Brandy. Yes. Very good. Good job on your part. There's always somebody that we can sucker into the group.
I was doing this before we started Truth or Tinfoil. So
Randy was our tech guy for the longest time when he wasn't even going to have a podcast.
That's right.
And I got to sit back and laugh at everybody.
Yeah. So
Now
Randy's always behind the scenes. When we have a tech issue, we call Randy.
Oh, that's nice. I need a tech person.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, telling me that, hey, there's something wrong with my Microsoft is not going to help much. Okay.
Yeah. Considering Barb, I didn't even know this.
Doesn't that make sense though?
Yeah, but Barb, I know where Randy's coming from when you said I think I have Microsoft. Well, 98% of everybody has Microsoft that uses it.
Try 99.5.
Oh,
unless you're Apple, right? That's the only one.
That's about 0.4 of the 0.5 left.
Yeah,
my phone works a lot better than my laptop.
Yeah, I you give me an Apple, I'm totally confused. That's it. I'm done.
Really?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm just done. I tried to work the Apple system, and I guess you'd have to really get used to it, but I can't. I can't.
I had an Apple phone for 90 days because all these people are telling me, Robbie, you just gotta get Apple. You gotta get Apple. I got one. I'm a Samsung guy. I've had a Samsung ever since they came out. And I said, I'll make the switch. I'll try it for 90 days. One thing is I couldn't navigate it for the life of me. And number two, everything I wanted to use, it seems like they were charging me.
Mm-hmm.
I was paying maybe $100. Let's say you're paying $100 a month for your phone bill. But then it was like $179. I'm like, why? Well, you did music. You did. I said, well, that's free.
Yeah. Well, you gotta be. Oh, wait a second. You gotta have an iTunes account. You gotta have an iCloud account. You gotta have this. You gotta have that. You gotta pay for your storage. Google gives you 15 gigs of storage, whereas you gotta pay for storage with Apple. I mean, but basically, when you're talking about just the equipment, they're basically the same thing, just with a different skin on them. You know what I mean? This one says settings, and this one says settings. Well, this one says accounts, where this one says email, I mean, it goes back and forth, but basically, quite frankly, you put them next to each other and start playing with them, you'll notice there's not a whole lot of difference other than one goes through Google, one goes through Apple.
Well, good. Since we have Barb here, we're going to steer right back to Barb. Barb is our Bigfoot gal. So what do you think Bigfoot would prefer, Samsung or Apple?
Oh, he's an Android guy. He's an Android guy all the way.
Yeah.
Well, Bigfoot can seem to blur out or shut down any system anyways.
Yeah,
Exactly.
True. Yep, that's true.
You hear people complaining about having fat thumbs when they're texting. Okay. So I assume Bigfoot would have the same issue. That's just the thing.
If he attempted to text, he would crush his phone. Let's face it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gotta be worthless.
They can just do it use telepathy.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, get home right now.
Right.
Okay, Dad.
That's called Siri.
All right. Is that Lee Warner?
Yes,
Hi,
it
Lee.
is.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, falling down on my job here. Thank you.
He's like slacking. He's all you start talking electronics, and then Randy's like, blah blah. I forget everything else.
Hey, I went in full geek mode there for a minute. Okay.
Oh, actually, see, I can do stuff like that. I just can't. Okay,
Yeah.
Whatever. That was a great segue, Barb. Talking about telepathy. Talking about Barb Hartman.
Well, I just joined Rumble. No, I've been on Rumble, but I just put my profile on Rumble. Started a channel. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I guess. And so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I did it right. Kenny Thibodeau has been helping me.
We'll figure it out. We'll, if we just see a black screen up there, we'll know that it's wrong. That's fine.
You can't find me.
I'm like, where's Barb?
Microsoft.
Yeah. So are you going to start a new show? Are you going to start a new show on Rumble?
I'm just going to put everything that I have on YouTube now. I'm just going to, put it on Rumble and see what, because I haven't been doing live shows anyway. I've been kind of in the, the tape shows that we've been doing. And, but the thing is, oh my gosh, the production is oh, yuck. So that's, anyway, but I've learned a lot. So I don't know what to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's why we like live stream, because oops, it happened.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
And again, if oops, it happens, Randy, I forgot to end my show and I got 2 hours of dead air. Can you take care of that, please?
Can you shut down the show, Randy?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Well, in his defense, nobody could have shut down that show that day because StreamYard glitched completely out. So it just kept on airing and kept on.
Yeah, that's
airing.
actually true. StreamYard crashed at the end of my show, and I couldn't
get into StreamYard. I couldn't get it to stop. It ended up 3.5 hours on StreamYard, but only an hour and a half on YouTube.
Oh my
God. Listen, really quickly, really quick, and we'll get into Barb. Just the last thing about that.
We've been saying that for 15 minutes.
When the StreamYard crashed, I didn't really realize it. So my show was playing live, and I'm live on air, but I'm not there. and I go onto YouTube, and there's all these people in my chat room. Then I had a bunch of trolls start coming in and doing insane stuff. I don't know who any of them were, so I had to put it on. I had to switch it to members only, because only if you're a paid subscriber you could watch to kind of stop it. Yeah, so it was the freakiest thing. Then Randy did his thing, and now we're good to go. But
even though I was able to recover about an hour and 5 minutes of it roughly. Yeah, it finally came up on StreamYard. I was able to get it downloaded. I did not upload it because it cut you off in mid sentence. So I was like, I didn't put it out on the podcast side. But
that's
woohoo,
fine.
Mickey G, 10 months.
Hey,
10 months.
Awesome.
But anyways, so
cool.
Thanks, Randy.
Very cool.
Okay, done with the cheerleading. All right, got it.
Okay. All right. Now are we ready?
No, not one bit. You ought to know that by now.
Barb, I am so sorry.
No, she's not. She knew this was going to happen. She knew it was
I couldn't wait.
Right. So you decided to put everything you got on YouTube on Rumble. Is there a
Yeah.
reason why you're choosing Rumble? I mean,
because Kenny told me I should. Kenny Thibodeau. I'm like, okay.
Kenny, you only had one job, Kenny.
I
Lord have mercy.
Mm.
But there are a lot of people that are like, oh, you should go, go over to Rumble. I'm like, I don't, whatever. Like, I'll get there anyway.
And yeah, and I don't know, because I guess we're all on Rumble too. I never knew that until like last year.
Oh,
We are.
That's what Tex said. We're all on Rumble. I guess he
Oh.
downloads them.
I had no idea. It's not on any of the. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Kelly.
Kelly Sandiford
Kelly.
from Canada. Canada's finest, Kelly Sandiford.
wow.
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you
Yay.
so much, Kelly. Boy, what a show tonight. I mean, I'm telling you what, I don't know what to do with this weather. It is hot in the south, and it's too hot for the south right now. It's just too hot.
Really? Oof.
It's too hot. It's
Keeps
way
the fan
hotter
blowing.
than it should be right now. We're
Gosh.
just way too hot. So I have cats. I have a stray cat who had kittens, and it's a whole saga. So I was outside and I was trying to put a fan out there for him because I can't bring him in the house because I have my daughter has an indoor cat who's not quite nice. So I put a fan out there for him. I'm like, am I spoiling these cats? I don't know what's happening. I don't know
I
what's
don't
happening.
blame you though. You don't want them to like bake out there.
Well, because there are many dogs running out here in the fields and stuff. They're they're just strays and they're out there running and they'll get them. And I'm like, well, I have to keep them. I got this big, huge kennel that I keep them in, and they got their litter box and their food and their water and the fan now. So I'm like, okay.
Very nice, Tracy.
I'm just.
How is it where you're at, Rob? Is it warm?
It's warm as hell, but now it's cooled off. I was about to say, because I did not want to go off and get away from Bigfoot, because my mind, when you bring up a subject, I can tell a million stories.
Yeah.
And the last you're going to get out of me before we start, before we officially start after 17 minutes.
Isn't that what he said already?
We finally have tornadic activity in Michigan. Yay, tornado.
Oh,
30 minutes away. Finally get to join Brandi and Krista and all you folks down south.
oh.
Time out.
I don't.
Oh God, here goes Randy. Okay, yes,
What
Randy.
the heck is wrong with Michigan people that they got to root for tornadic activity?
Yeah, like no.
I knew there was something wrong with you people up
Yeah,
there.
man. Us Yankees, I don't know. Go figure.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
Yeah, we lived
Oh,
in Tennessee for a while, and I just don't know how people deal with. Well, first of all,
it
heat,
sucks.
and second of all, the tornadic activity all the time. Like, gosh,
It has really ramped up, and we've talked about it on other shows about how, is this activity affecting, Bigfoot? We really want to know. I mean, is it getting too hot? Is their environment changing so much that they're moving to something that is more compatible with them, or, stuff like that? I mean, we've already talked about like Tornado Alley. We always used to hear about, we'd hear about Texas and Oklahoma up into Nebraska. We'd hear that as Tornado Alley, but it is moving. Now it's got like Missouri and Illinois and Indiana, Ohio. Now we're getting Michigan in the mix.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just wondering what's happening out there.
Well, just look up in the sky.
I'll
see
just say
the-
lasers. I just say
little
lasers.
streaks in the sky.
Say
Where's
what's
Donny at?
happening?
Where's
What do you
Donny
think
at?
about that,
It's
Randy?
the Arturians. It's the Arturians.
No, well,
And I do have to say, because I see a comment or two, I'm not rooting for tornadoes. I my prayers out sincerely for you folks to go through that, because they are. We talked about a show the other day about things that scare us, and Brandi, in fact, made up tornadoes. And I tell you what, never seen a tornado on the ground, only from watching Storm Chasers and videos. That would scare me to daylights. I don't wish it. I don't want it. We get them 60-mile-an-hour straight winds that do a lot of severe damage and wreck houses and hurt people. So I'm not
Right.
poking fun at tornadoes. I do not wish it on anybody, including myself. And no, Brian Barber, we're not all chaotic in Michigan. And I am a Lions fan, and we're outstanding. I saw that comment. I see everything.
I think
I'm done. I'm
in
done.
Michigan. Brian's in Michigan.
I see you.
But anyways, Barb. I think we're going to start this show after 20 minutes.
Are we starting the show now?
Yes. So, Barb, what's going on? I mean, I know you're still doing your shows and you're doing your pre-record. You said,
yeah. I just started my own show back up, and so that just hit YouTube today. It is with Tom Cantrell, who's like one of my favorite people in the entire world, and he's been researching and having encounters with Bigfoot for over 50 years. I mean, and I was just blown away. I'm just blown away every time I talk to him because he has so much information. And we just bought a property up on the Olympic Peninsula. I'm back at our house now, but we've been spending a lot of time there. And I said to him, like, Tom, I feel like there's so many things peeking at me. And I mean, when I'm doing, my videos hi Tammy, I'm doing the videos for investigation. And I'm just constantly coming up with things that look like they're peeking or they're like looking like through like that. And Tom said, oh yeah, that's how it is. That's how the Olympic.
Now this is at the new property.
Yeah. So we got it at
You're a magnet for these.
Yeah, I guess. Well, you know what though? It's Washington State, and they're the properties are like only 70 miles away from each other as the crow flies. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, but I think there's been a change at our house, and I'm not really sure why. It's been much more quiet. I have not heard the big male that I believe his name is Mont. I haven't heard him in a while. So I'm hoping that he comes back sometime because he's my favorite. Oh, wow, Jason. Yeah, that's close. I'm over on the Key Peninsula. And so he's the first one I ever really heard. And he has such a distinctive voice, like a deep, deep, deep voice and grumble. And also he's the one that I think that and this is a theory, but I think that the teenage boy Sasquatches, whatever, that live here, they like to torment our dog. So, because he'll be not every night, but some nights he's looking out the windows toward the woods and he's crying and my daughter said to me a couple of months ago, she's like, Mom, would you go out and do what, tell them? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Because like, she's like, I don't want to believe in Bigfoot. She's like, Mom, right. Could you tell them to stop bugging Asher? So I went out and I heard giggling. And when I turned around, I got hit by a pine cone. So those little rats. Yeah.
Well, that'll learn you.
Yeah.
But then I said, I'm going to tell your dad. So, and this is weird, later that night, and I got it. I got this. I was able to record this through our camera. Daddy came back and he was not happy. I mean, he was pissed. Oops, am I allowed to say that? Anyway, yeah.
That's all. You or them?
Never heard him like that. He was pissed at them. So I'm like, ha.
It makes you wonder if he's like disciplining them. It's like, look, this is our home. Just stop.
I really think that that's what it was, because I mean, I've never heard him. He's intimidating and like kind of scary sounding anyway, just because of how but I've never. Well, I don't know. I've never felt that he was. I don't know. I'm just listening through a camera, so I don't know. But and I've never had anything aggressive. But this night it was totally different, like a totally different personality. He just was like he was pissed off, and it also sounded like there was possibly a female Sasquatch, and I don't know. I call her like the cooer because she coos, and whether she's I don't know if she's his partner, wife, whatever. But she was in the mix too, like maybe like calm down. I don't know. Again, this is just I'm just surmising because he was hot. He was ticked off.
Well, now you have the most activity with Mont. Is that correct? I mean, you talked about him a lot.
Yes. Yeah. He is the one that I've heard the most. I heard he's the first one I heard and the one that I've heard the most. I've never seen him though. So that's kind of interesting. I've seen a lot of them, but I'm sure I've never seen him because I don't know. I don't know why, but
well, do you plan on like maybe moving to the other property, or is this just an
it's just like that's like a short-term rental. We bought it like an Airbnb, is what we're gonna rent it out, and we'll also use it ourselves. I'm liking it so much, I'm enjoying it so much, I'm like, I don't want to rent it out. My husband's like, we have to recoup some money that we spent on it.
That's a bad business plan to buy an Airbnb and then don't run it.
I know, but I don't care.
Is this place more remote?
Yes. Yeah. It's on the Olympic Peninsula, which is very, very kind of remote anyway, but it is in a little community that has the, all the like infrastructure. It's a little beach community because it's on the Pacific Ocean. But we're set back toward the woods, which is really what drew me, us to kind of, to purchase it anyway, because it borders DNR land, like 400, I believe, acres of DNR land, which I really think that that's some kind of a maybe sanctuary.
So specify what DNR land is for people that don't know.
Department of Natural Resources. Okay. And this is state DNR, so Washington State. But I'm not really sure. It's the state the way that they have stuff piled, and I'm like this. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't seem. It seems very unsafe as from a fire standpoint. But I'm not. I don't.
They don't let people buy houses there though and live.
Yeah.
No, not on that land.
It's a restricted public land is what we're talking about there.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And it's very, it like everything is like there's no trespassing signs every, I don't know, 10, 20 feet. But it's a really cool, it's a cool place.
Okay, so you got your own Area 51 in there is what I'm hearing. So.
Yeah. Because I think there's weirdness, very weird stuff going on, and I think it's almost like in pockets. But I heard I didn't get the opportunity to record them, but I mean, this is typical, right? One night about a week ago, no, 2 weeks now. This is about 8:00 at night, so it was still very light out. And my husband and I were outside. We're doing kind of doing upgrades on it before we put it on the rental market. So we were doing some, I don't know, cutting some wood or something. And I heard like a whoop, and it was just the cliche, whoop. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this must be people. But then I was like, maybe it's just people that are over there. And then the wood knocks, like classic, wood knocks. And then I heard a scream, kind of like a man, like a yell. And then I'm like, no, that's not a person, because it goes on too long. You know what I mean? The voice is way too long. And then I looked on the map. My husband and I walked over kind of closer to where the sounds were coming from. And there's no houses or anything over there. So I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I was like, this is such cliche Bigfoot sounds, but
I'm just wondering that. Okay, so possibly that the family that you have on your property of your actual home
Yeah.
70 miles is not a big stretch for them.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
So,
And you know what's really funny is there is one of the clan here that I call him Kurt Cobain. I call him Kurt because he sounds like Kurt Cobain when he yells. He has almost like a little yodel. I know, and he's like a little yodel in his.
Does he blast out any Nirvana in the background? You play
If you hear grunge.
No, I actually do play Nirvana for them once in a while because there's a song, that I was told. It's a heart-shaped box, is what? Because
that's the one.
Yeah. It's in a what is it, like a key or not a key? What is it? A chord, right? Like a certain chord. So, but I swear that night out there, 2 weeks ago, I swear that Kurt was one of them that was yelling, unless maybe they sound similar. I don't know. I just know that he's very human sounding, but not quite, You
mentioned about the Olympic Peninsula, and I know for a fact, first of all, from you being on the shows a couple of times and following you on your channel, I watch when I see you on. I always tune in when you're on.
Thank you.
Outside of that, but also Shane, you know who Shane Corson is, right? He researches out there.
Yes,
he discovered
he's
the
with
nest.
the Olympic Bigfoot
Olympic project. Yeah,
the Olympic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that are they more? They're more like they think that they're strictly ape. I don't know. I haven't talked to Shane. I've never actually even talked to him. But the Olympic project is more. They think that they're strictly like animals.
They're ape camp. They're
ape camp. Yeah.
Okay.
And I used to be. I had no idea. But then no, the stuff that they do, no, they're definitely not just big apes. I don't know what to.
Well, yeah, because it kind of makes me wonder if you got all that land that cannot be, built upon, and you would think that they would go there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because you're going to be there, and they feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's weird though, isn't it? Like that's so cool to think, but like bizarre. Like, how do they know? Whew, that kind of is mind blowing. I don't know. I don't know, but that's what they say. That that it's possible.
I have this feeling that they don't always stay in one place, that they do migrate for food or things like that. And like I said, 70 miles is not a lot.
No.
And then once you drive your vehicle into a certain area, they can tell the difference of where you've been. It's got to be that easy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow.
Barb, they know the sound of your vehicle.
Oh, yeah. Like,
you know what, I learned this a while ago. They know your vibration, your frequency.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. Sense. It's weird. When I turn, I monitor our cameras like at night, which is how I get most of my audio, the good audio. And they, if they don't throw something and hit the camera within, I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, then they're not out there. So most nights the cameras, and and it's like for as many times as they've hit the camera, and they're these little teeny cameras, like way up. There's never been any damage. They haven't been moved or knocked over or anything like that. And they could obviously do that if they wanted to,
Yeah. Are you going to, sorry.
Paper lock.
Yeah, I got a little choked up. So are you going to put cameras of course you're going to, it's an Airbnb, but
actually, no, we're not. I think we'll do like a Ring camera, but the neighborhood that we're in, it's so like, because there's little pocket neighborhoods in this community, and they really don't want that. They have security and everything, so they're like, we really don't. I mean, I don't think I'd want to go to stay at a place where there's a bunch of cameras on me, but we'll do like I said, we'll do a Ring doorbell so we can see who's coming in and out. But that's about it. Now I did put my handheld recorder out about 3 weeks ago, but I haven't had the time to even listen to see if I got anything. I don't even know. I don't even know if I got anything, because when I did it, every time I do it here, it ends up getting turned off eventually. So it never lasts, So
now, are they turning it off, or is it just running out of battery or
no,
charge?
it's because fresh batteries, and it should go to at least 10 hours. And it 5 hours, 1 hour, and you turn it back on, and then it's back on, and it has either maybe not quite full battery, but it has sufficient battery. And it's bizarre because it has one of those toggle switches, that you have to hold to turn off or to turn on. So I don't know how the heck
they figured it out. It's not, I mean,
yeah. And I think that that's another thing that's very, that's very common. Now, is it something that they can manipulate it electronically? I don't know. What do you all think about that? I don't know.
Well, we had a discussion
last night.
Yeah, we just talked about it last night. Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about how you can put audio out and you'll get absolutely nothing. Like the file is either corrupted or it just doesn't record anything. We even brought in that movie. What was it? Contact?
Yeah.
That movie.
Oh yeah.
Where she falls through the thing and they say that she didn't have, there was nothing on her audio. They didn't catch anything. And then after the fact, they're telling her, but you had 18 hours or something of static.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which coincided with what she thought she was gone. So.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're just thinking about that. Krista had gone out to the Land Between the Lakes and put a recorder out, and so did this other person. And, she's like, the next day, she's like, hey, I don't have anything on my recorder. It just didn't record anything. Well, let's listen to yours and see what you got. Same thing on the other person's recorder.
Oh my gosh.
Just got nothing. So, I mean, could it happen? Yeah. I mean, that kind of stuff pulls me out of that. I'm not even going to call it ape camp. I'm going to call it out of the physical being camp.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It pulls me out there because we all the stories that we hear, we just talked about this last night. It's so funny that not everybody's wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There is truth in everybody, in everybody's account of something. There's something, but everything remains the same as people are having trouble with their equipment, that they're not able to catch, certain things, even pictures of Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think, the ape camp, the woo camp, paranormal camp, I'll just briefly say that I'm in both camps. And the only reason I say that is because what happened to me the very first time was physical. Then it went metaphysical. It went from like something physical that looked like a creature of the woods, which looked like a human. Then all of a sudden what happened to me was paranormal and weird. I was in a different surroundings, my whole vision got distorted. Then the thing looked demonic, and I don't think Bigfoot's a demon, of course, but for me in the very beginning, I didn't know squat about Bigfoot other than seeing the Patterson Gimlin film, as we all did growing up. That's all I knew about it. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is some sort of creature, but not really. So me, I think they're both. There's a combination of physicality and metaphysical. They're both.
Well, yeah, I mean, because my first encounter and my second encounter, the first encounter was at a distance. So there was nothing that I could see. The second one was right up close and personal. Still, there was nothing that I could say that it would be anything more than physical. And then, I went out with Will Lunsford in Arkansas, and I had walked up to a tree line because I could hear him out there. So I walked up to this tree line, and all of a sudden, everything became very blurry in front of me.
Oh. Wow.
It just became, and so I just thought to myself, hey, I better back up. There, something's happening here. I don't know if they were trying to blur my vision so I couldn't see them because they were right there. I was getting too close and they didn't want to move. I could hear them. I don't know, but something is definitely crazy. It's just not all physical. That's my feeling. I'm just not all in that camp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Barb, so nothing's been happening at your house, or is it more been happening at your other property?
No, it's just been it's been quiet, but I mean, because we haven't really been here that much, I have the ability to listen to the cameras, through my phone, through the app.
Right.
And it's just been quiet. But with that being said, just last week, I got a bizarre vocal. Well, first of all, I heard this, I could hear this call, and it was one something in the morning. I let me try to pull it up. Let me see. I want to see if this is the one. Yeah. And so I was listening. I immediately, when I turned the camera on, there's they throw something at the camera, and then there was this call. And then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I've never heard that before. And it was going on, and I listened through the whole thing. Then I live on the Puget Sound, so I know that they're doing something with the water. Like they'll go down and like slam on the water. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're doing. I don't know if they catching fish and like knocking them out. I don't know what they're, but it's like this big, and so I'm hearing that, and then it kind of just, and that vocal that was going on and on, that stopped. So I'm kind of like, okay, I think, there's not really anything going on. I'm just going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I listened to it 2 days later, and there is this weird, and I did not hear this live. It's this weird, I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Wait, so.
Is it in one of those that you've got down there?
Yeah. So.
Which one are we looking at?
It's the Bigfoot vocal and another.
Okay.
EVP.
I got you. Okay. Coming with the Bigfoot vocal up.
I was recording possible Sasquatch calls on our home security camera when I captured a very strange sound. I did not hear this live. I only heard it when I was reviewing the video the next day. It almost sounds like a cartoon voice. I will play it again during the full video. Keep listening for more.
Okay, so how long does the actual full video run?
That's the.
What was that?
That was the vocal that I first started hearing. That
okay.
I was really, why I was recording was that
lower level is what you heard originally, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. All right, we'll keep it going. Okay.
And I have it sped up, so it should be the complete 20 seconds through.
Now this is 30 seconds past.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it, yeah.
That's.
Oh yeah. And then there was another one, like two then that I heard. I was like, whoa.
Okay. I got it paused there for a second.
Sure.
Now,
yeah.
So what are you hearing there? I mean, honestly, what is everybody else hearing when you hear those?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either. Especially that very, very, very first one was kind of paranormal-ish, and the other one sounded more like a younger person crying out, or I don't know.
Something calling to something.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the first one sounds
Creepy.
like a disembodied something.
Yes.
It does,
Yeah.
But that was enhanced, right? That first bit was
No,
enhanced.
no,
So
that's
was
not.
that
And
loud?
You're gonna, yeah. Well, yeah. You're and if we continue through the video, you'll hear it. Like as I didn't hear it though. It was
Okay.
when I was listening to them slamming on the water, and that was like that. Whatever it said,
Yeah.
it sounds like a cartoon voice or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was wild.
And
Yeah.
you're not hearing this at all when you're hearing them.
I did not
during
hear
the
that.
show?
No, I was hearing the oh. I was
Oh,
hearing
so-
that, and I did not hear that. Whatever that voice is, I did not hear that at all.
Straight up
didn't-
EVP. Okay.
You didn't hear the very first one that really was
No.
loud.
No,
Okay.
because that was the one that that's the one that I'm gonna play again. I play again in the that was the hey
Yeah.
like you gotta hear this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. All right.
That-
So here we go.
That's
We'll finish-
crazy. Okay, we're gonna have to go back to that one, but keep going.
Yeah, because that's
Okay, we'll go
I'm gonna
through it
play
all, and
it's
then we'll
gonna
come
play
back to the
again.
first part. All right.
It's gonna play it again though now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so 15 seconds later, something slaps the water hard. That's okay.
So you hear that? It's like a big
Yeah. It sounds like something.
and then that,
I like that.
I know
Okay.
and I was like, what?
It almost sounds like whatever made the vocalizations you actually heard came closer to the actual camera or the
know.
recorder.
Maybe I don't know, but that was and that's basically it. So
Okay. So now we heard that again. Do you want to hear it again, Brandi?
Yeah,
So-
play the very
Here,
first
yeah,
part of it again.
from the
Okay.
very beginning. Yep.
We're going back to the first. Here we go.
I was recording possible Sasquatch calls on our home security camera when I captured a very
Sorry, I went too
strange
far.
sound. I did not hear this live. I only heard it when I was reviewing the video the next day. It almost sounds like a cartoon voice.
I know.
Come on.
I will play it again.
Okay.
What is that?
What is that?
And you
I don't
didn't hear
know.
that at all.
Nope.
But
did not
now
hear
where
it, and
were
I
you at?
was listening through
You
the
were just
whole
listening
thing
to this
live.
through the were you listening through the actual electronics, or were you outside when it's happening?
No, I was listening through because I have an app on my phone that allows me to to record and
gotcha.
listen live. And actually, nobody was even home because we were out at the place at the beach, and our daughter and son-in-law were and the dog were out there with us too. So yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I-
So
Yeah.
let me pull this off the front here for a second. Okay, so you know my evidence mind is going crazy now, right, Brandi?
Mhm.
Yeah, because that is weird.
That is weird.
Because the
That's-
first bit, that you hear the one that's up close,
Yeah.
isn't really when it happens. It happens after you hearing that one in the distance several
Right.
times.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but you
About-
heard the one in the distance.
Yep. Yes, I did. I did not hear the one up close.
That's
Yeah.
and see,
Yeah.
I'm telling you
And
right now.
it's not the first time though. I've gotten weird things, and this has been happening for maybe the last 6 or 7 months. That
Okay.
it's starting to get almost weird, like EVPs, but not like a human. Like I don't know even what that sounds like. That's like a
Yeah,
cartoon
you
character.
wouldn't- I wouldn't
I
even
don't
say
know.
cartoon
I wouldn't
character. I would
say
say some sort of
cartoon.
entity trying to do something.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
What were you trying to say, Rob?
No, I was thinking maybe it was, how we always talk about like possible Sasquatch or Bigfoot in an area and they're talking,
Mhm.
communicating back and forth.
Mhm.
And then how we always talk about maybe when we're looking at things in the forest, that present themselves as Bigfoot when it's really a paranormal entity. And maybe this was something, a separate entity that was trying to converse with the Sasquatch and kind of trick you too as well, knowing that you eventually would end up picking this up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, it's good. I don't know. Who knows? Now this one.
Which one?
A baby Bigfoot speaks. So, do you want to? Can you pull that up, Randy? Are you able?
Which
to do
one
that?
is it? I got Juvenile.
The letter. Their lettering is red.
Okay, Juvenile. Slow down. Slow down.
Baby Bigfoot highlighted in pink.
Yeah, I got you. This one right here.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to hear this and it's slowed down after we hear it initially.
Yes.
So for everybody just listening, you're going to be hearing this in just a second.
Mm-hmm. The male, it's very faint. The male is very faint. Yeah, it's a shame because you almost.
I heard a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I heard it almost like a grunt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
What?
now that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two, yeah. Ooh.
That's so cute sounding, though.
What is that?
Jeez, Barb. What do we got going on?
I don't know.
It sounds like two,
It
but
does.
could it be just saying like, or two, or?
Chew, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's listen to this one. That was creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear that a little bit.
I hear footsteps. I hear footsteps. Was nobody
It could
home?
be.
Sneeze and cough. Yeah.
No, because this was outside. Yeah, and this was like like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Wow. Okay.
Were you guys there at this one?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, I hear walking.
And I heard, and that's somebody, that's probably one of them walking. And I heard like that, I was listening live and I could hear the low level sounds. But I did not hear that little one with that high, voice. And what's weird is that I really think that, they're sitting on the roof and they're talking like they know where the camera is because it's almost like right in the camera. I think they're right above the camera and they're talking at it.
It's something because, by the other clip that we listened to, it's right on top of your mic.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay, so I want to hear this one again. And I've turned up my headphones a little bit more to see if I can hear some of the fainter stuff.
Okay.
Because the adult that you're talking about, I could hear it, but it sounded more like grunts to me more than anything else.
So it's 2:59 a.m. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a dog. We know that right off the bat.
Right.
I'm going to come back here. Rob, did you say okay a second ago?
Yes, he did.
I did.
Yes, he did.
Okay. That was me.
Because it was right as it went to that part right here, and I was like, why did I not hear that before? Oops. Okay. And then this one, like I said, I think we are all we're in 2. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it out. What do you guys think, honestly?
I don't know.
I can't see what it is, but I definitely hear something that's different and there.
Yeah, I'm hearing, I'm hearing EVPs is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Because you would thought if there's something, actually out in the woods, you'd hear more movement. Now this is in February, so you had snow on the ground, right?
No.
There was no snow on the ground at that point?
No. But we have a gravel path that's along the house that you can hear them sometimes walking through.
Walking on.
Because I heard in the pink one, of course, you call the one the cartoon one. I think that's something that could be maybe, as I think that's a little more an EVP paranormal type of thing. Yeah. I also think, though, in the background on that pink, I picked up distinct 2 steps. Boom, boom.
That's kind of what I thought, too. Yeah.
So there was something, I think, walking out. I don't know if that was on the roof, as you say, or in the gravel pit, now that you just brought it up. But I did hear a footfall. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
I would be afraid of them being on the roof, obviously, because if they're as big and as heavy as people say they are.
Yeah. You know what, though? I think that it's the juveniles. And because I have heard that that's common kind of behavior.
Climb.
And there's like, I think they were on the roof last night, because you can hear the kind of concussion, and it's like a boom, 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 boom. It's not like I don't know, whatever. And it was funny because my husband, I would tell him this and I'd have him listen, and he's like, I don't know, dear, it could be wind, whatever. One night, he was working in his office, which is right next to our bedroom. And he said he was hearing this like, almost like banging noises, because they don't do it over where our room is. They're doing it over on the other side of the house, which is right along the forest.
Yeah.
And and so he said he hears this, and he came and he listened. He came out to the living room and he listened, and he's like, oh my gosh, Barb, it literally sounded like someone, like maybe little kids, like running around on the roof. He said, I don't know what else it could be.
Well, I mean, these things are ninja-like. I mean, they've learned and adapted to be quiet and to be light on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and, sorry, go ahead. Continue, Brandi. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that. I mean, it makes all kinds of sense where they could get up there and it sounds like a little person up there running around, but it could be them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what I was going to add, Barb, is like you mentioned your husband says, I don't know, honey, could be sound like little kids. Now, I don't remember. I know I've spoken with you many times. You're the big Bigfoot enthusiast. Now, your husband can take it or leave it type of thing, or does he believe, or when his response was?
Well, he definitely believes now. And there's things but he was always, he was interested in it, and it was like, and I would just make him watch stuff, the documentaries and all that. Cause like, and then I feel like
that's right. Yes.
Yeah. He grew up in the wood, he grew up in the woods. He's a hunter and he grew up on a farm. And so he always thought that all that stuff, it's cool to watch.
Cause he never had experiences before, did he?
No. But there's been some things here that that he's like, yep, I don't know. I have no idea. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm saying that now, and I know they're real. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Because one sitting right in front of me, and that's how. All right. So I think it was a young female. I'm not sure, but instead of it like bending its head down, it could have just I don't know, dematerialized. I don't know if it was just strictly, like paranormal or supernatural. It could have just faded away. But no, she just sat there and I think that we were both shocked, and she responded by just putting her head down like a little kid would do. It's so cute.
Like you can't see me. Let me my eyes.
Oh boy, put my head down. She's not good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she won't be able to see me. But I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that she was threatened by any means.
No,
it's just kind of like
not. I mean,
it's kind of like I made a mistake. I didn't realize you were there.
Well, I'm the one that like stuck my head and my phone in, and it was just dark. And so, I mean, I don't even know. It's so bizarre. Like, I don't even know what compelled me to do that. And then I was like, and I know that I went and then like screamed and ran. Which still makes me so mad. But like, I got a very good, like quick, it's like burned in my brain. And it looked, I'll just say I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so much like Chewbacca. I cannot believe that this looks like Chewbacca. I could only see it from the bridge of the nose up, and I mean, everything else was Chewbacca, and but had like maybe like reddish in its hair, some auburn maybe, and I mean, it was like not, it was not one color, but I was just blown away that that's really what I saw. And and its eyes were like, if you've ever seen like a what are they called, like a labradoodle?
Yes.
They had these, and they have like human looking eyes, and that's what the eyes were. And then the eyes also had both eyes had, it was either very pale skin or some kind of like coloring like in the hair, because it looked like perfect circles around both eyes, like of white.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Chewy.
I mean, it looked just like, whoa. Had the long hair. I remember.
Mine had the red and the reddish brown.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you've ever looked at a labradoodle, they look like they have human eyes.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
They do.
They kind of freak me out a little bit. I mean, they're so cute and cuddly.
They are.
I've never seen it. I gotta look it up.
And high strung.
Yeah, but they definitely look like a big teddy bear, but skinnier. You know what I mean? But they have that curly hair. But yet those eyes are they have that human like look to them. So it kind of takes you back a little bit. But they're so cute.
Yeah. Because I guess you say like my grand dog, my daughter and son-in-law, and they live in Pennsylvania. We were visiting them, and it was so this was like it was August of 23 that I saw her in the bush. So then a couple months later, we're visiting, and Gracie's their labradoodle, and she kind of like immediately, jumps up for me to pet her, and I'm like, whoa. I was a little bit like, whoa, whoa, look like the Sasquatch face, just the eyes,
just the eyes. You're like, oh, wait a minute, hang on a second. You're right, though. I mean, that is a perfect explanation, because those eyes, I know exactly what you're saying when you're looking at those dogs. That is so strange.
The first thing that hit my mind when I heard, I think that little one. To me, it sounded like a little one that was saying either chew or chew.
Yeah.
The first thing that entered my mind was there was something else around it. And it was like maybe feeding it or whatever.
Oh, maybe.
Chew. And maybe it's mimicking what it was being told. Because I didn't hear anything. That's all I heard. So I know it wasn't. I just like chew, I just it felt to me that was just the impression I got right in my mind. Something physical was going on where we had to chew, but what is too significant, right? So who knows? But
there was a guy when I played it initially, or when I released it initially. There was a guy on my page, and he can speak. He's familiar with the Salish coastal, like the indigenous Salish language, and which is really what in this area is what there would have been many tribal members that would speak that, and he said that. He said the words like, but I can't remember. I'd have to look back what he said that he thought that they were. That it was actually they were both that the male, the adult male and this little one were both speaking. He felt like a dialect of the Salish language.
Okay.
So which I don't. And so maybe this one that I got just the other day, the Stewie, whatever. Maybe that was. I don't know.
It's cool audio.
I mean, because we're taking it as a human word too, but I mean, like
Yeah.
like you were
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
Barb, it could be something
Yeah.
else.
Right. Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
would it be so far-fetched that they spoke something else, something from maybe an indigenous Indian tribe that was in the area? Possibly.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that makes perfect. Yeah, because I was like at when I released it, when I was producing the video, I'm like, I think they're speaking English. Like, oh brother Barb, why would I say that?
Yeah.
And that sounds so dumb.
I mean, it does sound like it's two or two. Or
It does, but then the one sounds like it's tall winds. But but so I hope you guys can hear this other one I have. This is
The singing.
Bigfoot singing. Yeah, you
Yep.
can.
Oh,
So
boy.
yeah, you can.
Okay, here we go.
My goodness! I'm ready.
We got the music, that's for sure, to go along.
House was. But I say, were you playing them? Some. Oh, never mind. I about to say I heard that out in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then that clicks when they.
Okay, so where did you see where it landed at all?
No. Mm-mm.
So
No,
you just that click right there around.
I didn't even see it hit the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. A lot of times I don't. I'll see them throw things. Many nights they're throwing things at the camera, but
Yeah.
I did not see it that night.
Okay.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that one. It's like something in the distance, and then you got that one that's right
Yes.
next to it.
Yeah. Like
yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is he trying not to be too loud against the camera but to let him know, hey, I'm still here type thing?
Yeah, that could be like, stop it, quiet down out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I don't want to
Stop
make any
throwing
noise.
things. I'm up here.
Yeah.
Because
it sounds like he's being purposefully quiet.
Mhm.
He's not
Sounds
really
like-
letting it out.
You're
Yeah,
right.
it sounds like he's trying to be discreet and not try to make a communication, but not like let the humans hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, they're a little faint right there.
Yeah. But they're there. You can hear them.
Yeah, you can hear them.
High pitched call.
Yeah, I hear that. That's got a little distance away there.
Yep. Yeah, and Barb, you do have that problem. Uh-oh.
See, and it sounds like something. Yeah. Now the bumping that you're hearing, it sounds like something's up there around the camera tapping
It
on
does.
something.
Mm.
So, oh, you're muted.
I'm
muted.
confused.
She's muted. Hang on.
All right.
Yeah, I
Okay, there
guide
you go.
myself. my dog is making noises again. He's like freaking out because we're playing this. I'm
Oh,
like, calm
boy.
down.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. He's
Well, that would make sense because it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
yeah.
It's
But
unusual.
yeah, but what was I don't know, what was I saying? Yeah. Oh, so like I can if it's sometimes the wind will make that like a like a boom, boom,
Almost
it
like it's
sounds
tapping on it type thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, but you can tell, by the vegetation that there's,
Yeah.
because I think we had some planters and stuff that it's February, so they're just sitting there, and you can tell nothing's moving. So
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah,
Okay,
that one
okay.
was
But
because
keep
I
going.
kept getting that feeling, like with the taps. I'm like, wait a second,
Yeah.
why is that there? Why is that happening right now? Type thing,
Right.
So
Yeah. Because it doesn't appear that there's wind blowing or anything.
Yeah.
no, not one bit.
Okay.
Okay, back to
Let's go.
back to
Let's go.
alcohols.
Alcohols. Okay.
Okay, that one right there. You heard that? What you're calling an owl call doesn't sound like an owl to me at all.
I was about to say not an alcohol.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a dog. It
Yeah.
wasn't a wolf. It was definitely not a owl. But
Mhm.
what it was, I cannot say.
Yeah. Yep.
We can tell you what it's not, but we can't tell you what it is.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Don't we like those answers? I mean, that's
Yeah.
It's the greatest
definitely
thing in
not
the
an owl,
world.
Bob. I agree. I was thinking that too, Randy. That did not sound like an owl to me.
No,
Did not
I don't know
sound
what
like
that
the
is.
other-
It
Didn't sound like
didn't sound like a
predator.
dog or.
No, it didn't.
Hey, Bob, really quickly, where you're at, do you have like coyotes and wolves and things like those types
No
of predators? or
wolves
no?
that we're not where we're at. We don't have any wolves.
Okay.
We do have coyotes.
Okay.
And we have cougars. Well, like, I mean, it's a small peninsula, so
Yeah,
there's maybe
I got you.
and some bears, some black bears.
Okay.
But we have a perimeter of cameras around the house, so anything that approaches the house or walks by, we
Yes.
can see. And so you get wildlife, but they don't
Yeah.
care about being,
Yes.
Well, that now that you said that you got cougars or pumas in the area, mountain lions or whatever, that makes me think about that very first one we listened to. Then I might have to go back and kind of listen to that one again because I can hear that being a cougar with its yelp, not the roar, but like the kitten call. You know what I mean? So,
You mean-
but I'll
you
have to
mean-
listen to it.
Yeah,
I'll have to
the one
listen
that
to it.
was
I'll get you to
closed?
send them to me and stuff so I can actually blow them up and listen.
Yeah,
So.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway,
Well, I
so
mean-
now we go back to our. Oh wait,
Yeah.
what? Sorry.
That doesn't make it better. Just
Well,
saying.
no, but still.
Randy, before you continue on really quickly, Werewolf says, this stuff gives me a freaky feeling. Never felt that before. And we all know
Oh.
Werewolf.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been on
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of-
When the werewolf says
Yeah,
that,
when he says that, there's something going on.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
got something happening here.
I mean, it's this whole thing. All three of them that I've listened to so far have got my interest really peaked, and that's even on
Yeah.
the scientific side, not just the paranormal side, the scientific side. So, all right. So now we're back to the two hoots.
yeah, and yeah.
Okay.
And see, they're different sounds on those alcohols there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really vague there too. Okay, so the water you're on right there,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing boat related out in that water at all, right?
No.
Because it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
sounds like a boat motor, almost that humming noise.
Yeah,
a distant
yeah,
boat
but it's
motor.
no. Yep, no, there's not. Nope.
Okay.
Because you can hear, like, when there's a boat out, you can literally hear. You know, you're like, oh yeah, that's a boat. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
this
you
just
would
sounds like
know.
a slow mover type thing, and that's why I was wondering if there was any boats in that area, because that's kind of what it sounds like. But
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is, but still.
Mhm. Oh no,
Okay.
no. Yeah.
No, Barb
Okay.
would know. I mean, you just like, Randy, if we were in a haunted
Oh, yeah.
house, we live there, we know the sounds what the house makes than what's not the house.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I wanted to ask. So before
No,
I
yes,
went any
right.
further with that.
Absolutely, because it's.
But anyway, I will be begging her for all these so I can actually get them on my system.
But
so.
yeah,
Well-
but you have to listen to. We didn't get to the singing part yet, or the.
Oh no,
humming.
we're
Yeah.
still going. I'm stuck with the humming right now. Like, wait, that don't
Hey.
wait. Whoa, man. Huh.
Randy,
Yes, ma'am.
she's got everything out on YouTube and she's putting everything on Rumble. You can listen to everything she's got.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Mhm. You're gonna like
I
it.
had to go. Then I have to go download it, and then I got to separate the audio. It's just easier if she sends it to me.
Okay.
Give her the view, Randy.
Okay, well, I'll
You
give her
just
the
want the-
views anyway. I won't do it on Rumble because I'm not on Rumble, but still, I'll do it on the
It's
others.
not on Rumble.
All
Most
right,
my
there you
stuff's
go.
on Rumble anyway,
All right.
so yeah.
All right, here we go. Back to it. Now that one I heard, that was a male hum.
Yes. Yes.
There it is again. Why did it sound like somebody inhaled right there? Did you hear that part?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna back it up about 15 seconds there. Okay, I want you to listen when it kicks over to where it talks about the past this bit with the red lettering. It almost sounds like something when it talks about the noise reduction. It sounds almost like there's an inhale.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah, she applied noise reduction, so that may have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really messes up when I do that. It messes with the quality.
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
Mhm.
It
Unless you have a
does.
good background a background noise sample to put on it,
Mhm.
then it'll screw everything. I try not to ever mess with the noise reduction unless I have
No,
to.
I yeah, same. And
But this
people-
is outside. I
people
mean,
are
this
always
is outside.
saying, and
Yeah.
they're always saying like, "Oh, you need to reduce the noise, cut that static, blah blah blah." But like, and I think that the reason it messes with it, from what I've seen, is that and heard, is that when you're taking sounds out. So if a Bigfoot call or a vocal is many layers, you're cutting into
Yeah.
those layers, and so you
Exactly.
get like a fragmented sort of a sound. But
And when you do that stuff, we've talked about it. Me and Brandi have talked about it with pictures and such. Once you start messing with it, then it becomes not the original. It becomes
yes,
something happens to it to take away from or add to, and it might distort what you're actually trying to come across with.
right, yes, you're perfectly absolutely, yep.
So okay, so we're back to it again. It's replaying it 3 times.
Okay.
You can't, yeah. You
Yeah,
can't
you-
really
you-
even hear anything.
You can't,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear a little faint, and that's it.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Is it raining?
No, that's
No. Audio enhancement.
Yep. So that's where, yeah, you get that. Sounds terrible.
Yeah. I hear the thump.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really pick up the words behind it, though.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually cool. That was a cool
Thank
sound
you.
right there with that one. That was
Yeah.
that last one with the little tap. I was like, whoa, wait a second, where'd that
Yep.
come
Yeah.
from?
Yeah, and it
You
doesn't have to hit the camera. It can hit beside it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Randy, you have to hear. Yeah, you're gonna have to take a listen to my to the channel and all, because I mean the ones that I love the most are the ones from the big from the big male. He's just has such a whoa.
Well, the reason I ask
fantastic
it, I'm gonna go give you the views anyway. I'll go get out and subscribe and all that other crud and stuff too.
Thank
But
you.
the thing is, if what I'm looking for is something long. Well, it's crud when I have to subscribe to all wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the reason I'm asking is because the raw audio and raw video, I mean, before it's ever tampered with and done anything with, do you still have copies of that?
Probably. Yeah. Yes, I actually do. I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
The reason is because
the problem is getting it to you because they're so long. I don't know. Do you know of a way that I can send them?
Oh yeah, we'll work that out. We can talk off air about it.
Yeah, we
We'll
said
get
at
that
the
squared
beginning
away.
of the show. We said at the beginning of the show, Barb, that he's our tech guy. He can figure out.
Yeah, because I have. That's absolutely. Yeah.
The only reason I say that is because I can separate the audio and the video, and we can actually enhance the entire audio and figure out where we need to focus on as far as sounds and such. So
awesome.
Yes, Barb, this is what we do every Sunday.
Yeah, and I have to say too, Barb, what I love most about doing we do all these shows all the time. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
I love it though. My favorite shows, I want to guess, comes on with the audio. I'm such an audio. I love audio. I could pictures of videos. Yeah, I've been there, done it. Even if it's great, okay. But the audio is what captures my attention.
Yeah,
so I think there's so much more that we can drive out of it. I do.
Well, and also like you can get scientific results if you run it, which I've had my audio run through spectrographs, and it's like it is though. That's definitely Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about spectrographs.
I love that. Yeah. Yes, I love that.
You can identify, hey, this sounds like this, but it's not in the right spectrum for that.
Yes.
Mark Newbill used to do that all the time with every one of his videos, his audios and stuff. He'd go through, well, that's supposed to be an owl, and here's what an owl's supposed to be, but this is what this is. We were looking at stuff back, side by side, and you could tell that's not an owl. That's not what that's supposed to be. So.
Right,
well, and it's funny too with and I have some audio of this, but the owls will start out sounding, it's a perfect mimic, and then it just kind of degrades down to like, you're like, I'm not doing this.
right.
And, yeah, like I say, and Randy, you bring up a great point. Barb, what you just spoke on, I recommend this to everybody. So I just started doing this like last year, and I do it like maybe once a week, not all the time. When I'm going to bed, I will go put on headphones, and all I will do is listen to sounds of the night by actual animals we all know.
Yeah.
The fox makes a million different sounds.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
You would
yes.
think if you didn't know any better, you think some paranormal screeching.
Yep.
Oh,
Raccoons. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
raccoons.
I don't know. I think Barb can rack up some money there. She can make,
Yeah.
sleep to the sounds of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I mean, and just
Ooh.
put them out there,
Yeah,
I mean,
and that would do that too. Yeah, absolutely, Brandon.
especially like in the summertime, you get the
Yeah.
bugs in the water and the whole thing, and then you get Bigfoot in there calling, and
And
Yeah.
I have a great idea because I just,
oh, Barb, you can, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You should do it.
Brandy, you gave me a great idea because I've got this really cool radio that was given to me for Christmas, and it's I can do downloads on it. It's really
Mhm.
sweet. I'm thinking about getting all this audio and going at night in my yard, maybe like midnight, and turn it on and blare it real loud because I can filter it where there's no static
Oh,
and
good lord.
freak out the neighbors.
Well,
But
then
at
start,
the-
play,
but at
start
the
playing
same
the scary
time,
sounds.
yeah, but at the same time, I'm gonna enjoy it for as you know how we're all odd this way, right? And I can sit there and probably
Yeah.
fall asleep to it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, the one that's closest to the woods that I get the most audio, if there's nights that I'm like really keyed up and I can't sleep, a lot of times I'll put my earbuds in and kind of listen to that. And I'll get like a click, that they're there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
mostly there's not. But what's funny is is when you're just drifting off to sleep and it's like, and then like
Right.
when and he'll be like, like, oh my
Yeah.
God, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, just kind
Barb,
of
you could make millions
Telling you.
with just sleep sounds with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Barb and Bigfoot. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that was a perfect example. Some of these sounds are very quaint and very faint. Then all of a sudden, always at the end by the mic, bam,
Yeah.
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 rock, a pebble, or
Like it's
or
us,
sound,
that's us. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Lolo wants to know,
Yeah,
what
I was
is
just-
your opinion on the Sierra sounds? I mean, this
Oh,
is
I
a
think
good. This is actually a good question to end on.
Absolutely
Actually,
real. I
Yeah.
definitely, without question. I've interviewed Ron Moorhead, and without question, they're real. Plus the fact all of the. I mean because that doesn't mean like just because I interviewed him, it's real. I didn't mean that, but there's just been so much. They've been studied so much, and
Yeah.
and I know like I have audio of them. Not to that extent, but there will be like a little bit of a words. It sounds like they're making words and they're talking to each other. Not to that extent, but I think that those Sasquatch just, they'd never seen humans before. And they're like,
They'd
"What's
never
going
seen
on?"
that camera before, at least.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, those things are real. I'm with you with that. But
Yeah.
y'all told you ask them. I'm the skeptic of the group. I'm the I'm the guy that will try and poke holes in everything because I want
Well,
to make sure
yeah,
it's
I
thick.
mean, yeah, because
But
you do really need to.
those you can't poke holes in those because they put them through every spectrograph, everything under the sun to try and prove yes or no.
Yes,
And it's past everything. So
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
Randy. My two thoughts on it: the Sierra sounds absolutely authentic. I, like you two, Barb, have had Ron on several times, and just kidding.
He's so great.
Ron's
I love
such a
him.
great-
He's so great.
Ron is a great guy. He's been out the
Oh.
blinds. If the blind, he's been on the blinds too. I think maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
He's been on
Yep.
all the shows, and he's great.
Such
But
a
you
great,
know what?
such a great guy.
Yeah, he's now, and Ron's like all of us now. He told me a long time ago that he just thought that Bigfoot was nothing but flesh and blood.
Yep.
30 years ago. Now today he's totally changed his mind.
Yeah.
He thinks it's more. He might even go. He went as far to tell me things they might even be alien in nature. But then again, I'm not talking about that. The other thing, though, what I do recommend for everybody, and I came across this like 6 months ago. One of the ladies that we've had on our shows on the blogs and on my show, Linda Eastburn. She's actually going to be a speaker. She's a special guest at our conference. I watched one of her shows. She's got part 1 and part 2. Of course, Ron Moorhead, but Scott Nelson, the linguist, who breaks down the language.
Yeah.
And the
That's so
language, and he
exciting.
was deciphering, and he put together what he thought they were saying to some extent, and that was mind blowing.
That's I
That was
love
now
that.
all you guys got to check out Linda. Go to
I got to check that one. Yeah.
go to Scott Nelson interview part 1 and 2, breaks down Moorhead Sierra sounds because he was there.
Yeah.
Second time. Or maybe both times, I forget. But
He might have
anyway,
been both. Yeah.
and
He's been studying forever. Yeah. I think I know the guy.
he is a dual he speaks all these languages in his
Yep.
his job in the Navy was to break down Japanese communications during the war.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he
yeah.
knows how to break all this
Yes.
stuff down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's very good. And
So
yes.
the samurai sound,
Samurai
I
chatter,
get.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, it definitely sounded like that to me when I first heard it, but
Yeah.
that would make sense. Wow.
It's really cool. I don't know what I would do if I heard that now on my camera. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
I'd probably be excited. I don't know. But
I think
but
we'd
that was
all
like,
be
"Ooh."
excited. I'd be excited, but I'm like, I'm not like Tex goes by himself. If I heard it by myself, if I'm with like one other person, I won't be scared. If I was by myself, I'm like, oh my God. But knowing me though, I still venture out and try to get more. Just that's how dumb I am. You know.
Right. I mean, I would too. And if it were me and I lived in Barb's house and I heard those sounds, I'd have to go buy better equipment for outside.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're getting floodlighted like crazy. I'm getting.
I
pictures,
mean,
man.
we would be spending thousands and
That's
thousands of
that's
dollars.
why I'm hoping I can get maybe monetized somewhere. Maybe I'll get 14 cents back. Right?
There you go. 14 cents
I do
a
have
month.
one
You
question
too.
though. I do
And then
have
you
one
got to figure out
question.
where you're going to spend it. I mean, are you going
Yeah,
to pay
yeah,
the
yeah.
StreamYard bill or what do you do?
Barb, I do have one question though. Have you done anything like gifting at all with them?
Yes, not it's not a regular. It is, when I say like gift, it's just a gift once in a while. It's not,
don't do it all the time. Yeah, I understand
that. And the ones here at our house don't actually, the ones out there too. They don't really, I don't know, they don't really seem to respond. The only thing, let me see. They don't like the fruit. They do like organic Granny Smith apples, but they didn't like if they weren't organic and they were red ones. Because I think I got some organic red ones too, and they didn't like those. They like the Granny Smith. But
well,
there
they're
was
just daggum high maintenance, ain't they?
I know, right. They're like, oh, we don't. It has
We
to
ain't
be
touching
organic.
those.
It has to be. Well, a lot of that I think is they can smell the pesticides.
It makes
That
sense.
too, yeah.
Definitely. They're like, we're not eating that junk. But what was funny was, and I think I told Robin, and I think I told you this before, Brandi, is that when you'll get like a grocery store will have like buy one get one free, like French bread or Italian bread. So we got 2 big loaves, and we had eaten the first loaf, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's a whole other loaf, and we're all trying to not eat carbs. So I'm like, I'm just gonna take it and put it out in the woods. See, so I put it up in the gifting area, like it's a tree that there is a stump, but then I can also put something up in the crook, of the tree. So I put it up there and went out maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days later, and it's gone. But again, that doesn't mean, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it could have been anything. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it, hauled it off, a deer, I don't know, whatever. But a couple of days after that, there was the bag from the bread was folded
Back
and
where it
laying
was?
on the ground with a rock on it.
Okay, that takes away the thoughts of a raccoon doing it. Okay,
Right, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. That takes the cake right there.
That was the
litter
best.
control.
It's like, here, we're gonna bring your bag back so you can bring us some more sometime.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
We like that.
Please refill.
Yeah. So at this new area, I was getting some like really creepy feelings when I was, out there investigating on the Olympic Peninsula. And then I thought, I have to go back to like my basic, like how I form a relationship. And I don't mean, like, let's get together and have some, drinks or,
No.
Let's hang out at the beach. Let's soak up some suds and get some rays.
Yeah. But I thought, here I am. I'm basically barging through their home, and I have my camera out, and I'm trying to like, oh wow, and then I thought that's kind of rude. So I was like, oh, you know what? And I said, I'm really sorry. I just walked through your house, and so here's the gift. My name is Barb, and I don't know if you know I have a clan that I live with, whatever. I could just be talking like nothing, but anyway, it made me feel better. But it's weird because there's a tree frog. Well, I don't know. It's like one of those, like, I think it's a tree frog, like a they make that, like, that chirping almost.
Yeah.
Noise.
I know what you're talking about. The high pitched croaking.
Yeah, but this one, every single time I like walk out of the house after dark out there, it starts. And I don't know and it's just one, which is kind of odd. And so I don't know. I just wonder if it's a Sasquatch. I'm not sure.
Yeah, could be a mimic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That is very true.
Because I know they mimic them perfectly. I have audio of the Mont, the clan elder, and he is communicating with this frog. He's making his sounds, and then the frog's like chirping back at him, and this went on for a while. So yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, woo, Barb. You always send me for a loop every time.
About raccoons. I want to tell you, like, one night I'm listening, and my husband was still working, and so I'm like, oh, babe, listen to this. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, it's so scary. I don't know. He's like, Barb, that's raccoons. I'm like, oh, dang
it.
Because I was like, whoa, it sounds like I don't even know what's happening.
Right. And I get it, because it's like sometimes you're not understanding, but it does take somebody else sometimes to say, oh, hey, I know what that is. And you're like, well,
yeah,
thanks, but stop it. You just ruined it.
Thanks for ruining my night.
Well, we're over an hour. Yeah, we're over an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
So we're going to wind this down because we have Monica Rollins coming up on our Paranormal World. So we've got to take off of here. But we're going to check in with Barb in a couple of months if she'll come back. We've got to have the next episode of Bigfoot and Barb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're going to start naming the episodes, like episode 1, episode 2.
Yes.
Oh, come on, you have to come on, Randy. I like I love you listening.
No, I ain't coming on that. They yell at me too much when I do that.
Well, we don't know. If you send them the stuff, then we'll have you come on. We'll have you come on Truth or Tinfoil.
Oh yeah,
and we'll go over the whole thing together.
That'd be a good one. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. All right, everybody. Check us out tomorrow night on Blondes and Booze at 7 p.m. Central. I don't know what we're talking about. It's all up in the air. Don't know.
Yeah.
It might be a free-for-all. We don't know.
I'm not at that one, Emma.
You never know.
I don't know. You bring the subject, we'll talk about it. It's all good. So with that being said, don't forget about, of course, Donny Cho at 8:30 p.m. Central on Saturday, and Into the Bazaar with Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. What that would be 9 p.m.
I know, 10.
Mountain.
Yeah,
11
that'd be 9 p.m. Mountain. Yeah. Okay. 9 p.m. Mountain. And Barb, where are you at? So that would be 8 p.m. Pacific. You're in Pacific, right?
Yes.
Okay. That'd be 8 p.m. for you. I was trying to count backwards because that's the only way I can remember it. So, but we had to include Barb in there. And then it's 11 o'clock in the East.
We should just make the time universal for everybody. The East and West Coast.
I wish they would quit with this time thing. Just stop it.
Yeah, stop turning it back an hour daylight saving.
Yeah,
right. It's hard enough to remember. Okay, am I in Mountain, Central, Eastern, Pacific? Come on. I mean, why add on a time change? I'm just saying.
Michigan and parts of Michigan is where I live is in the east.
Yeah.
But the west side is in the central.
I know.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, you just cross the line, you go to the next street over, and it's a whole other hour.
Yeah, right.
But I'll make it easy for everybody right now. Monica Rollins comes on in 20 minutes, wherever you are.
Yeah.
20 minutes, wherever you are. She's coming on our Paranormal World, so check it out. And we're just going to say good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is the future. Evolution.
The Crossing Realms Conference launches September 19th and 20th and will dock in Richmond, Missouri. This is already being called the event of the year, folks. With an unprecedented list of speakers and special guests, 2 days of cryptids, UFOs, and paranormal presentations, along with a celebrity-filled ghost hunt, meet and greet, gallery reading, vendors, and a film screening. This promises to be both educational and fun. Go to eventbrite.com to secure your tickets and vendor slots before they are all abducted. They're going fast.